there was so in my own. You know, and when you're there, Rico soon, my no. There your poem and no never gone away. Then you can stay where you're reading. Patricio, on your power bar. See us alone, you're that going. I bet you can wait. There is a soup, I say with my own money. Oh, Signor Gigi. Oh, shall run away you are. Oh, bring your cabin. Oh, we know your good DC. Hello. Look for ya. Then you're going I keep one we have by remove. Oh, will I have on you move? If you look on away, where you know, what in here, where you by remove. See us what in a lot. I got wow. Just walking along, I got wrong. Madria Johnny's road, Papa Dremo. I'm not by my money from me now. In real, no way, Panama, Siasu, Panama, as a soul, Panama, we have the West and the Panama, I'm a very bad body, Johnny Soe, Send a Soe, cannot follow you, or you look to this everywhere. No company, no moving, I do it. Just what you know. Sasuma, when you're moving, I do it. Just what you know. I will send a soul, nothing more. I'm less than a soul, nothing. I'm still out in a send a soul. Happiness, Sasuma, and nothing more. Send a soul. Happiness, there is no scala, happiness, there is no way. I never know, your mother to know, I never know. Yes, I know. If we are nowhere, I never know. Tommy Soe, in real, I never know. A François Soe, or Community, in real, I never know. Thomas Soe, Frank Soe. I say Edward Soe, was it Soe? They want to away. What do we? Emmanuel Soe, live on the Soe, or the bike. One chance to there. Look about me as cat name was young day, and go play a parlour. So, I said, President Soe, my own day, or community. So, a François Soe. From the black post, we know the pass out the way. Bonre, a Fonda Soe, one radio back up, one radio. I'm glad Father Soe, the mother is no more, but then you're not there. My do away, oh, Father Pinacilla. Seresunia, this guy no so this says, Papa Rino, Panapina, they have come in Soe, Panapina Semu, Sambeti sura pale apina semo siasua pina nyati sura pale apina skeda siasua pina Jefferson sura pale apina skeda yo siasua pina Rosetta sura pale apina skeda siasua pina loa Iwanu su jainu do kaya choso siasua do me apawo kaine pina skeda siasua pina siasua pina siasua pina Johnny Suapina, Suapina, Suapina,
All right, let's get this here. Okay, all right. Good afternoon, good evening, Liberia. I just want to thank you so much. I just want to do this special. Precisely, it was the last month, the 10th, when I received that fateful call from the family back home, from my brother, older brother, senior brother, based in Liberia. And since then, I took off some time. But I just want to say a very, very big thank you to all of our followers, fans of Liberia Public Radio, friends and family, people that disagree and agree with us. It was just overwhelming. It was just overwhelming. And the level of support that I've received so far and continues to pull in is just amazing. And I told the family of the Liberia Public Radio, the liberal progressive, I, I think pretty well by the grace of God, 75%. When these things happen, you have to take time to take a reflection. After all, she is a mother, not a friend, not an ordinary family person. I'm not saying any of those people, they are not important in our lives, but a mother is just irreplaceable, period. That's it. Your mother is your mother. And when I take a retrospect of the journey, what she went through as well, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I won't be able to say that here. But to all of the friends and brothers, people that are really keeping us going. We just want to say thank you. Uh, Pray with us. We are still going through it. It doesn't matter her age, whether she's in the 80s. If I have my own way, my mother will live up to the hundreds because there are things, there are conversations, there are names that she call. I don't see any other person that can really call that. And so that's something, but we are grateful as well. In as much this loss is a big vacuum for us, we are grateful for the time, for the length of time that she spent with us. Uh, yeah, we are grateful. She was the only child of a mother, so we didn't see ourselves as only son. We see ourselves as brothers, as fathers, as sisters, as uncle, to her, relative, and everything is. So it was just beyond the mother and son relationship, and that was she accepted all of our grandchildren. There is a special names that she calls everyone in a special, unique way, and that's something God have to really appreciate. And her death, is she was surrounded by her grandchildren, great grand as well, a sister, and people to really take care. She got the treatment that she needed, but when it is time, it's just the time. There's nothing else. That's one thing we just do not have control over. I don't care. You can have it being like people with money that nobody will even die, but it's biblical. That's what the Bible tells us. So we are just a stranger. We are just passing through. And my prayers and thought go out to the rest of the family as well, brother, because just 3 months ago, my senior brother, we just buried our niece, his daughter, and just after within a 3 month period, the mother passed right in the hand. So we here as well, but I just feel that the bulk of the law is actually on him. The impact on all of us, including the family, and he to just go through that within a short period of time, out of the grandchildren, and all of that. It's a lot. But all of them, they were very, very supportive of her. They were very supportive. She was given the care. She was eating on time. And then everything perfectly went well. But it is why it is. Sometimes when these things, when you're ready to happen, you just do not have control over it. And so that was the situation. But overall, we want to say a big, big thank you to those that are supported our phone calls, messages, they continue to pull in. We initially proposed to have a memorial, but we decided to call that off in compliance with all of the health protocols that is unfolding. It is very, very much important. We can also endanger people who want to come over to sympathize. We must also deploy that line of reasoning, try to also endanger lives. So the family thought it wise, in good faith and in compliance of with the health protocols, to cut that off. But however, we will be having the virtual memorial. That the date, tentatively, the date is on the 5th of December, whereas the face-to-face memorial will be on the third. So we just step that forward, and I think that makes sense. The virus is still all around, and we must be kind of a little bit alert in our surroundings as well. But all of our friends, family, it's amazing. People sending in their contributions at their own free will, which is not a surprise. But again, people using their own good judgment. To our LPR family, one of the present, the Liberal Progressive, we don't get along on a lot of things. Let's just poke a little bit of air because we're going to get down to it. I told them I'm going to take a period of time to take a breath, and I haven't had that sort of conversation later on. Like, what, I need to come out because I can remember one of my nieces and my nephew, like sometime we were on this, the old man will ask, are they paying him? What is that other work that he's doing? Why he'd be talking all day to head their hair? So she too were kind of like enjoying it, things that we were doing. But I just thought in the midst of that, sometimes you take a step back, take care of what you need to do, and product well by the grace of God. We are gradually getting there. She will be laid to rest. I decent in my own context. I'm not sure what the decent peaceful rest. I want to be laid somewhere peacefully. I don't know what is the same definition for you, but I can show the family too. We're going to have. We want to give her a good home going. She deserves it as a mother. As it. And one of the things that oh my, she's a very strong, just very, 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 very strong woman. But all this sort of hell broke loose some 2 years ago when our senior brother passed. And as you know, a mother, their children's business is not an easy thing. That was something that took a really toll on her in the last 2 years that she could not I really get it. And I've gotten to realize that, sometimes when somebody immediate person pass and you just tell them, okay, you'll be okay. No, you can't be okay. Even I who, as who I am now, 50 plus, is the last, I just can't still believe because uh, not a single day, every other day or every day, we talk. And she was a very smart lady. It came a time she said, "Well, I want the phone where people can just, rub their finger. That is a smartphone because she wanted us to be doing like a video call, which I'm grateful that we ought to get that phone instead of the one people can just plug the fingers. That's making reference to the Chinese phone and all of that. But that was very, 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 it was very, very much fruitful. It was good that we we have that, and we are glad because there are many others. There are a lot of things been happening from the war, the Ebola, the COVID, and all of that. And there are some family right now that are grieving who even wanted to give their beloved a decent home going, but because of these sicknesses, these viruses, different things happen. So for us, we are blessed, like every other people, and we are in prayer with those who really want to do the same, but situation did not allow it to happen. So we can't be that so ungrateful to God, you know, to say one because we can question. Of course, at that age 80 plus down, then you have also reached a mark where things going to be falling apart, age and catching up with you. Things going to be, different underlying conditions and stuff like that going to be happening. But for the world, she lived, she did what she could do, and that we are happy. Uh, but interestingly, one of the things that was amazing was someone called me. They asked me not to call, and on this network we have our own community rules in terms of how people respond to people, and I didn't realize that that person been blocked for maybe year or 2 years plus now because of some language that was deployed on our live view, and we warn people to, you wouldn't just usually block people before you are blocked. You will be you'll be warned multiple of times. So it was just yet. In fact, day before yesterday, this person called. There are a lot of people using different names, fictitious name, and call and they say, "Oh, Mr. So I called to simple like who's this?" And they called me and say, "Okay." He said, "Well, but then before then they are already cash out, send $100 contribution, and then say, you know what? I am so person. I've been blocked from LPR. I like, who did that? He said, oh, well, I think it was you because I wrote something, but even though you warned me multiple times and I kept doing it because of, to whatever reason they were driven in. I said, well, I'm sorry. What I did, it was at my own fault. But, they get a saying, and this is where he put bone in my throat. They say, you are a traditional person. I too am a traditional person. So when people not even getting along, it is during death time you can settle those scores. So I am so person who are doing that. But I'm sorry, but I just see that I'm not happy your mother passed, but I just see this as another way of us moving forward. But this is my contribution. I like you. Are you sure? Did I block you? I say, yeah. I don't even go back to that because people who don't need to why something can you black then that's it. So I said, what's the name? And then he went and called the name. And then when I went into my phone, I decided to go to the list, the black list in the block, folks that were blocked in the that name. Papa, I said, but this is not a name. He said, oh, but now that Facebook, you can't everything you can pull out there, but this is the name that I can use. I like, okay. So he said, well, so he said, okay, please. I know there are other people who are of the same. So, in the interest of goodness, as we're about to take the Oma home, please, some black all the other people. But I did this, and I went and did that. I'm just saying this to say that things that we do to people also pay serious attention. And it's good sometimes when you slip to also a mate, and that's exactly what he did. And I'm happy that he did that. He's been unblocked, and I'm quite sure that there's a lesson learned from that. But the liberal progressive Samson told we this brother, he's amazing. I just want to be very much thankful. Even my former boss, Minister Kai Gerald, Night Cry Poor, and all of you, to Mikey. This is a guy who was calling all over trying to reach me. He couldn't get me. He got to reach to something. He something had to call. He said, "But Mikey been calling you." I'm like, "Oh, what?" And then the next thing I call him, he said, "Oh, he's $150." As a contribution, many others that we have not even asked, but out of their own volition. And there were other people who were also just sending condolences messages, and they were just checking. Oh, and there's another guy, Fraser, I will call his name. There's no problem. He said, "Oh, I haven't seen you. Just send message, send message, Mr. So, how you doing? I haven't seen you. A few days. I like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just taking some family time off because of SY. He said, oh, but I didn't know that. I'm sorry. So we know this is a crazy busy lane. You know, people get their own things going on. So you can't hold people responsible. Oh, this thing happened to me. Why this person didn't call me? Why? But no, no, no. I'm not that kind of person. I'm a very, very rational person. Sometimes we all, we are overloaded. We burn out with a lot of things, so, we don't keep track of things happening. People have their own things going on. But I'm just happy that these people were able to reach out. And we're talking about something. For the past year and plus, the old man, before passing, this brother, uh, not a single month, he kind of committed him. I don't know how that happened, how it pops out, but every month, not less than $100. Oh, this is for the old man, for her, this, that. Prior to so, I mean, is and that went deeply down to her, even into her last days, because she was so much worried, she was so much grieving about the other son, other brother that passed away. So for every time something came into this whole picture here, it was like uh, he replaced the other. He never called after this whole thing. He very, very much, you never call the name. He replaced the one that left. I mean, I see him like the one that I've left. I'm kind of confused. Why is he doing this? And I know when she's talking those times, then that a deep grief within. I will try to change the conversation with her. But even to the last days, when she couldn't even utter, she couldn't say that. You're like, oh, you take care of son. Oh my, come on, Samson is an old grown up man. Why am I going to take care of him? Samson, he should be able to take care of him. He said, no, he is a good man. He's like he stands in the gap of the one that left. And if I call you after the old man, so that was a year plus. Can you imagine somebody just dipping into their own personal uh, uh, monthly their bills and was just doing that? Who does that? And if I even tell you after the demise of the old man what he and his wife has done, I know you feel very uncomfortable me saying this here, but you have to say it when people do things. And this is not a revenge. You always say it. She will be laid to rest. We will be traveling to Liberia by the grace of God to finalize her homegoing, and that those messages going to be echoed. So the relationship is long. Besides of what the crazy thing we do here, head our here with these politicians, agreement, disagreement, nothing is being taken personal. When we're talking here, after we leave this network, believe me or not, that's it. Not everybody will argue, will have this sort of talk. But many of you, you have sent out messages, you have sent out your personal contributions without even asking. The Soul family will really, really want to appreciate all that you have done. Uh, I just thought of doing this because having after the consultations, like I love doing to what I'm doing, and a lot is unfolding in the country. Now I've started having the conversation with family members. I have to get back on air to get that. I can just still believe that since what that was on the 10th of October. Oh my, she loved being on the telephone. But this is a death is just is just another unbearable thing. But we can't question because it creates that gap, everlasting gap. It's not like somebody traveling or going to the city and then you can. And I know from the 10th up to this time that I've never talked to my mother. I know it's such reality, and I have to deal with it. I have to deal with it because every Sunday, whatever, every other day, she waits for that phone call coming from me, coming from my sister. And so my brother told me the first person, or the sister, he asked, where are you? I said, I'm at work. I didn't see that coming that Sunday, 11 o'clock Eastern, pretty close to 2 something local time in Liberia. Because I know he's a person for emotion as well. But that Sunday morning when he broke that news, I just couldn't. I was like in a different world. I was like, what is he talking about? I got on the highway, drove for almost 20 some more minutes, and I began that recollections. I began to process what I was about. What my brother, what was he saying? And I had to pull over for a few minutes, and I began to process. Imagination began to kick in, and all of that. And since then, the 10th of October up to this present time, no conversation, no phone call, those names that she used to call me, nothing. Everything ceased. Then I know it is a reality that death has snuck her away. But in all everything, we want to give God a praise. Yes, that's Ambassador Tamara, and that's one. Many of the other pictures usually we on a live video. I will do a snapshot because that's something that used to make her to feel happy. Is when we're talking, and that's one of the reasons for which she requested that I want the phone where you can just slide your finger, and her granddaughter Catherine, my other brother's daughter, all of them, the care that they provided. And I know the young kids in Liberia, because of situation, everybody of their own, but my nieces and nephew, they are not like that. And they have been there, and they still there even when she was in her sick bed. Catherine, my namesake Afonso, Romeo, all of them, the Emin, the Tracy, all of the kids, all of them, Mercy, they have done extremely well, and that's the good thing. And I want to say thank you to our senior brother, because not most often is there are some people who don't. It's not just all about the money. You can have the money, but when the care is not there, when the care is lacking, that's a serious problem. But he, as a man, and his fiancée, they did everything, But there was some conversation being kept in the back, and I couldn't look in the face of my older sister to tell that. There came a time you said, brother man, because he just could not understand if from hospital to hospital, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, he has his own vehicle. So as God may have it, it was much easier in an hour, any time. But I got a little bit skeptical because the old man, she put the interests of other people first. That's how she was grown up. That's the culture of their days. It's not what we do now. And she always used to say, speak this parable in crown to say blue away to a sample. Meaning when farmer, when you go on the farm to fell a tree, as long as you're still getting that tree down, when that tree is not, if it is still standing, you can't throw your axe down. The axe that you're using to fell that tree, you can't use it. But then certain time came, she her tone the language. Don't waste your money. I've been going to hospital. Things been happening from Cote d'Ivoire, Morovia, Visda, Ghana, all of that. I said, but why are you saying that? Have you forgotten the parable? So we are not tired and we're never going to be tired. I don't care how it's going to be. And the folks back home told me was not tired. The nieces, Catherine, Mercedes, and all of the other people, they were all not tired. But again, the old man out there, we can't, question him. But, she she took care of Samson know what I'm talking about. My town to Samson town, and that's the little much bigger city. I used to walk a distant, almost like an hour. And I remember those days, the Oma, that was 70 something. They all of them, Oma wise, they used to wake up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because the cemetery is right outskirts of the town. And so the other older guys, they get a tendency when they're ready, oh, somebody come in, people start running. So the old people, they used to wake up 3, 4 o'clock and they will walk almost halfway. Can you imagine doing that around year, all year for schooling, living from BI to Town? Used to call Pamela, that was doing, uh, how do you call those starch, concrete thing. There was thing. So there are a lot that went through. So, when somebody go, yeah, she live. What are you talking about? She live, she's old. Well, come on, please. I'm talking about a mother. There are names that she can call me. One woman can even call that name. Or some woman you can break up, they can go. The last person that will ever to reject you is your mother. You can get stepfather and all of that will go on, but stepmother is tough. And she took us. So I didn't see, it was more than a child. I see myself as a father. I see myself as a brother because she's the only child of a mother. So four of us, one to left, three remaining. And so we should stand in that gap, not just only as a child, but as a brother, as a sister, as a father. Because I know the name she can call me. She don't, and all of her children, they are specific names. That's the kind of love, that's the kind of passion, and all of the grandchildren get a way of calling the kids, they get a kind of name. So it's not somebody tell me, yeah, you all live. Come on, don't tell me that. I know, I am aware, but also remember, in as much as an old grown-up man over 50, I am the last guy who took all of the breast water. So you must also understand the connection that is involved as well. And because I'm in America and stuff like that, no. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be, I will, this is something we're going to deal with for the rest of our life. That gap is being created until we meet in different world. So that's something we all have to deal with. But I said to many of you, I want to say thank you so much for your support, for your courage, for reaching out to us. I put a reach out to me and my sister, to my brother in Liberia, and even all of the friends. That's how we should live as a community, as a people, so we can have all of our disagreement. If I tell you what contribution, there are some people don't want people to call them out, but at some point in time, it's still in process. But people that I don't even know, or people that just follow even LPR, some of those people will just talk via phone, program. But people call and like by the time you go look, I send this, I send that. So we really appreciate that because you don't have to do it. But I think because of the connections and your own good human conscience, and that's why you did that. But again, we decided to cut off the memorial service here because we are also aware there are still health challenges, and we must be cognizant of that. We can't endanger the very people that are, that will be coming to us. Some people are vaccinated, some people are not vaccinated. And even by nowadays, it doesn't matter. People that are vaccinated, they also become, at the end of the day, they are all infected. But what I do know, by the grace of God, we will be traveling to Liberia to lay our mother to rest. And please keep her in prayer and prayer, especially with the older brother in Liberia and the rest of the children, because it was right in their own hands. Now, what it means that your mother, I'm not saying friend is not important, but your mother, somebody you live in the same household. You go to town, you come back, you meet her, ma, good morning, good afternoon, and greet you as a son, and all of a sudden, so I see the pressure, uh, the pain. It's on him more than we do, and that's just a fact. That's the reality. For every time he goes out, come back, and then go in the Oma room, she's nowhere around. And then when you begin to take a reflection, the last 3 months, what happened to his daughter, and the last 2 years, what happened to the senior brother, all of that is just so enough to crack people's head. But again, it is why it is. We want to just say thank you to God. We are grateful to God for the time that she spent with us. Yeah, it says we are grateful. We can't, in as much what happens is a vacuum for all, but we can be ungrateful. Yeah, like I said, most of you here, your story, people who listen to this, some people say, but my own is more. Some of us, I don't even know where my mother was buried. I don't even know where my father was buried. I don't even know where my brother was buried because of the civil crisis, or either the Ebola or the COVID, where you and I even have be able to see the deceased, your beloved one. Can you imagine? But for us, it's different. So we have to also say we are grateful that her own sister, grandchildren, they were able to be by her bedside when she passed. You know, they felt her, she was taken good care of and everything. So we must also give it to them. But again, I'm going to be back. I am back after having this consultation. You know, when this thing happens, you have to take a little deep breath. I'm not going to be baby crying. What is remaining now is to lay her to rest, which of course going to happen by the grace of God. Decent one that she deserves as a mother. Decent in my own definition, not your definition. I'm not sure why going to be the decent say for you, but I'm saying decent for me and the family that she going to be laid to rest peacefully and stuff like that. But I just thought of coming out here to express our profound gratitude and appreciation to those of you who reached out and who have not reached out. Believe me or not, we hold nothing against anything. Maybe you don't know. Like the other guy just sent a message because he said, "Oh my man, I see you on," and I say, "Yeah, because of X, Y reason." So we can't be judgmental on people. Oh, my man died, and this person not called me. No, 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 no. I'm not that kind of type of person. We have to be rational. People get there. This place is crazy. People get their own personal, even in Liberia, people get their own personal thing ongoing. So you can't take your problem and cast it on other people. That's just been very unrealistic. But I just thought of coming back here and in obedience and respect to our audience as well. Because it happens that Sunday I got on you, I should have hosted Senator Steve Zako. And I want to say thank you to him because he just saw that on the Facebook and he called and kind of like been checking as well. So that was good on his part as well. And other folks that been checking. So I think it makes sense for us to come back here and just let you know. But believe me, I am back and I'm back today. Let me can throw this one here. The liberal in my absence in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he was all over here like a wild geese, acting like he's the town owner, threatening and try to sanction Amos George of his talking point, injecting all of his liberal ideology on this network. Samson told. Now we finish, but I can tell you, your party, the party, your fete you were having here was I yesterday, day before yesterday he was on, and I know he had a bad night because people calling this, he was paying down crazy. But I can tell you, it is over. The Liberal Progressive going to be joining me in our regular broadcast. We hope to, we are following development in Philadelphia. So we'll get that information. So we're going to be coming on here, but I just thought of doing this. I just don't want to come on and just jump on this, jump into politics and all of that. I mean, 4 weeks now, that's it's reasonable enough. I'm going to deal with it. We are taking care of, for the most part, things that needs to be handled with the family, and we're going to deal with it for the rest of our time. But I just thought of coming back for this few seconds, a few minutes to say a. But you know what? We are back, and I join us this evening with the Liberal Progressive, and we're going to be having our program.
Tommy Sue, in real time, SML, Alfonso Sue, Okomanyoti, in real SML, Thomas Sue, Frank Sue. I say, Edward Sue, in my own, Moses Sue, they went away, what do we? Emmanuel Sue, Levan Sue, hold the pipe. On the chance over there. Look about me, I'll start a name of Shanty, and go play a fire. So, I said, President Sue, my own Lune, Okomanyoti, so
Area Public Radio and LPR TV. I want to thank you so much for giving your time, but we want to be back here. I just wanted to get this out of the way and want to be back here because I don't want the liberal. He thinks that I don't know tradition because if I've not done it, believe me, he's going to run with it like somebody roller skating here. But he took the rust in it. So he was intimidating Mr. George, Pat George. My strong tie, conservative guy tie, he tried to sanction his voice to the extent sometimes he comes on, he can't send the video link because he thinks that he thinks he's the king. He didn't know that I'm gonna be coming back today. Yeah, way, you know, way, yeah, this and that because he was having party. He think he's gonna party. But I can tell you, the owner of the microphone is here, and you, Libra, get ready this evening. Pa George, you're going to join us. We're going to be back in 4 gears at the same time. We will still, after I was talking and all of that, we will still quietly. There's no way that we can avoid that. We're still quietly to remember our mother. But I know she's going to be laid to rest decently. And when these sort of trouble, when these things happen in trouble, when these sort of crises take place, you stand like a man. You can't be crying, like baby cry. You start crying, but what the hell you crying? Hey, you can't even bury a man. No, that's not it. But that grief came because of the connection. Some of those names that she can call, when I start calling her names here, those of you from the crime, ethnic crime dialect, you will know. And it mean a lot. And I just thought those things, they are missing now, completely missing. And even if anybody has to call that name, the way she calls it, and how she structure, how she pronounce it, and I kind of cheer me up. That's not going to happen. But I also understand their life, also their uncertainty in life. It's a journey process, and considering the age, so I knew, we were going to come to this point at some point in time. I want to thank you so much for giving me your ears. We are back. She loved listening to me when I'm on the podcast when she was alive. So, what are you doing? Who they paying yourself? You ought to be talking all day. They paying you in America, they paying you in the old man, they're not paying, or we're doing it for the good of the country. But one thing she always told me, and my father, my late dad, all used to say, and that's the key word of the labor. If there's any other thing that I do not agree with him, say be truthful in what you are doing. Do it with honesty. Don't lie. What is right is what you say, and this is what we do here in LPR. I'm not saying you will say it's 100%. No, you can have your disagreement. You can disagree with us, but we'll try to do the best we can, and that's what we're going to be doing. Until then, guys, I want to thank you so much for your time. By God's willing, I'm going to be right back here later on here. We're monitoring to what is happening on the political front right here in the U.S. We are hearing from President Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka will be taking the center stage in the brotherly state and sisterly faction state of Philadelphia in a town hall style meeting. Hopefully, we're going to catch some images, and our team of political analysts, we're going to be here to dissect and follow what is unfolding in Liberia. Until then, have a pleasant afternoon. I will see you in a little bit. Oh, we are Calabar. There's just so many way of calling God name. Folks, we're gonna leave it here. Roof in Liberia. The care you gave to the mother to Oma. Oma should wake up 2 o'clock when I'm at work. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Looking at my lesson. I'm going to check on my Bev. But we're gonna settle that in Liberia. Thank you so much for what you did for the care. Uh, how many of our people can afford to take care of sick, someone that is sick? Do it one day. It doesn't matter whether you're well. I'm tired. She never complained. Not at all. And the old man understood her so well. When she doesn't even want to eat, when she doesn't even want to take a pill, she called her Mom Beth and just crack joke, make her to feel good. Bring her conversations and she will take that she will take a pill or she will take in that food. Thank you so much. God bless you. Folks, I'm going to see you. And by the grace of God, we're going to be in Liberia to finalize and lay our mother to rest. Until then, have a pleasant afternoon. I'll talk to you later.
We are